What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day, the biggest daily baseball show on YouTube. Before we get to yesterday's highlights, remember, hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss all the content we'll be putting out all year. And now, here are Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. I'm going to start with David Peterson, who had 5 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up only 1 run. He had some wicked sliders, including this back foot slider, and had a 43% whiff rate on that slider for the day. He was up against Jesus Luzardo, the Jesus Lizard, who had his overpowering 98-mile-an-hour fastball working, and these nasty sliders, including this one that got the sword, sending Luzardo on his Jesus Lizard K-strut. Luzardo was outstanding, with 5 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, giving up no runs and only 2 hits. And I consider him one of the most underrated starting pitchers in baseball. Christian Javier had this filthy slider and 95-mile-an-hour dart. He had 6 Ks in 5 innings, but he did give up 3 runs. He was up against Lance Lynn, America's ace, who had 6 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, thanks to his nasty curveballs and cutters, and of course his fastball. But the highlight of Lance Lynn's outing were his ridiculous K-struts. Check this out, a real-life Kenny Powers on the bump. And this one may be one of my favorites, a literal FU fastball. You can hear Lynn yell out, "Woo! You!" Lance Lynn has won my K-Strut of the Year award 2 years running, both times for grabbing his junk after a K. Will he win this year? Well, he's bound to be in the competition. Lynn finished the game with 6 Ks in 5 2/3 innings. Kyle Freeland pitched great yesterday. He only had 1 K, so there's not many pitches to highlight, but check out this ridiculous play by Kyle. A total embodiment of the phrase, pitchers are athletes. Insane. Merrill Kelly had 4 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, giving up no runs thanks to his changeup and curveball. And he was up against Dustin May, who had my pitch of the day. Wow, I'm a poet and didn't even forget it. But check out this curveball with 3,354 RPMs. Talk about a hammer, this thing drops off the table. May's ridiculous high RPM curveball leads to some problems. I mean, look at this overlay with an inside 98-mile-an-hour fastball and this 84-mile-an-hour curveball with 3,200 RPMs. As a hitter, that 98-mile-an-hour fastball almost hits you, and you see this curveball following that same trajectory, but it ends up in the strike zone. May's high RPM curveball also leads to some problems for umpires, because this one with 3,314 RPMs isn't a strike. May's highest RPM curveball was this one just out of the zone, and this one had 3,451 RPMs, which is about the highest you'll ever see. May also had a nasty cutter, and check out this K-skip from May. His last pitch of the night was this wicked dead zone cutter. I call it the dead zone because it's in the dead zone of a left-handed hitter's swing. And it was so beautiful, even Sandy Koufax had to approve. May threw 7 scoreless innings, giving up only 3 hits and had 4 Ks. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Emmanuel Clase had these unhittable cutters. These were all 98 to 99 miles an hour. Pierce Johnson had these hammer curveballs. Bryan Abreu had these disgusting breaking balls. Look at that. And my filthiest reliever of the day was Drey Jameson for these wicked sliders. He had 5 strikeouts in 4 innings of relief. Now on to some college baseball. Brody Brecht hit 104 on the bump. Look at this gas. Brecht is a starting pitcher out of Iowa, who is also a wide receiver on the Iowa football team, but recently quit to focus on baseball, and I'd say that's a good idea. Brecht had an amazing 13 strikeouts in 5 innings yesterday. You might remember I featured him before for this home plate view of his 100-mile-an-hour fastball. What a great raw talent. And now, my Pitching Ninja moment of zen. You might remember yesterday I featured both Matt Brash obliterating Jose Ramirez and Thee Stallion throwing out a first pitch. Well, this is what happens when you mash them up. What's up, everybody? My picks of the day today are 3-leg parlay. First, I'm going to start out with Kevin Gausman for 6 Ks or more. Then I'm going to take Zach Wheeler for 6 Ks or more. And lastly, I go with Spencer Strider, Quadzilla, for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?